Good morning, students. Welcome to the next lecture of electronic measurements and instrumentation. My name is TSS Nagpawan Kumar. Today our topic is Maxwell's bridge. So Maxwell bridge is the one of the AC bridges. So we have various types of AC bridges. In the previous class we have completed capacitance comparison bridge and inductance comparison bridge. Today we will see the concept of Maxwell's bridge. So coming to here, these are the two bridges we have discussed in the previous class. The first one, this is the capacitance bridge, and second one, this is the inductance bridge. In the capacitance comparison bridge, in the third and fourth arms, we have taken a capacitive C3 component with the series of R3, and in the fourth arm, we have taken a CX capacitance with a series resistance of RX, which is the resistance of the internally available in the CX component. In the same way, we have taken the inductive comparison bridge. In the inductive comparison bridge, in the place of capacitive comparison bridge capacitors C3 and CX place, we have taken L3 LX components in this inductive comparison bridge. So the R3, the third arm R3 resistance, which will be available with the L3 component, and the LX component has some internal resistance of RX component. So this is the inductance comparison bridge. So let us see our Maxwell's bridge. So this is our Maxwell bridge. In this Maxwell bridge, we have taken the fourth arm with a LX component with internal resistance of RX, and the first arm R1 is has a parallel capacitance. So this is almost seems to be like as a combination of inductance and capacitive comparison bridges. We have taken the fourth arm for the inductance comparison bridge. The fourth arm RX with a series inductance of LX, RX, LX both are in the series form in the fourth arm. And coming to the first arm, we have R1 and C1. R1 and C1 both are in parallel, okay, in the first arm. Now let us see the operation of Maxwell's bridge. The Maxwell's bridge, we have to take the bridge balance condition. The bridge balancing condition for AC bridges we are taking in the form of Z, that is impedances. That is Z1 Zx is equal to I will write that condition. Right, Z1 Zx is equal to, that is Z2 and Z3. So this is the bridge balancing condition. So this is the bridge balancing condition in the AC bridges. Here the Z1 is consisting of R1 and C1 parallel components, and here we have the fourth arm Rx and Lx, that is a Z4. So those are the Z1 and Zx, and Z2 Z3. Z2 is equal to R2 and Z3 is equal to R3. Okay, so from this we can write Zx is equal to Z2 Z3 by Z1, right? Otherwise you can write Z2 Z3 into Y1. So 1 by Z1 is equal to Y1. So Y1 is equal to 1 by Z1. So for that reason you can write Zx is equal to Z2 Z3 Y1. So this is the equation we can write here. Okay. So let us see clearly. Here the Maxwell's bridge. The Maxwell bridge is shown in figure, measures an unknown inductance in terms of known capacitor. So here we are going to measure the Lx value, that is unknown inductance, with the known capacitance values of in the first arm of that bridge with R1 parallel C1. So that is the first term in the Maxwell's bridge. This type of bridge is proposed by the Maxwell scientist. So for that, based on his name, we are calling this Maxwell's bridge. Okay, right. The use of standard arm offers the advantages of compactness and easy shielding. So this is the standard. These are the standard arms that are providing for easy of operation. Next, the capacitor is almost a lossless component. So the capacitor here, whatever the capacitor here we are placing, this is a lossless component. Next, one arm has resistance R1 in parallel with C1, and hence it is easier to write the balance equation using admittance of arm 1 instead of impedances. So here the first arm impedances we are writing with the terms of admittances, that is in terms of Y parameter, not in the Z parameter. So that we will see. Now coming to that, generally the bridge balancing condition, the bridge I am representing here. Now coming to the bridge balancing condition, Z1 Zx is equal to Z2 Z3, and Zx is equal to Z2 by Z3 Z2 Z3 by Z1, that is equal to here Z3 into Z2 Z3 into Y1. So that we will see here. Just now we have written in the previous. So this is the condition, that is we have written in the previous slide. Zx is equal to Z2 Z3 Y1. So this is the condition. Here we have to remember. Next, where Z1 is equal to R1, R1 with parallel of C1, then we can write Y1 is equal to 1 by Z1. That is very important. Y1 is equal to 1 by Z1, and the Z1 we can write like this. Y1 is equal to 1 by R1 plus J omega C1. 1 by R1 plus J omega C1. That is, we have removed the Z1 term. Why? Because in this equation we are writing Y1, where Y1 is equal to 1 by R1 plus J omega C1, and Z2 is equal to R2, Z3 is equal to R3. From this expression, Z2 is equal to R2 and Z3 is equal to R3, and Z4 is equal to Rx is series with Lx. So for that reason we are writing Rx plus J omega Lx. Rx plus J omega Lx. So finally this equation, the bridge balancing condition, Z1 Zx is equal to Z3 into Y1. Right? So this is a condition. Z2 into Z3 into Y1. So this equation we are taking. So Zx is equal to Rx plus J omega Lx. Rx plus J omega Lx is equal to R2 R3. That is in the place of Z2 Z3. Here we are writing R2 R3, and in the place of Y1 we are writing this expression. This expression we are writing here. That is 1 by R1 plus J omega is C1. Okay. So this is the expression. Now we have to simplify this expression. Right. So here you have to separate the imaginary. Right. So see here, Zx is equal to Z2 Z3 Y1, and Y1 is equal to 1 by R1 plus J omega C1. So we are writing the Zx value here. The Zx is equal to, we are taking from the fourth arm, that is Lx with series of Rx resistances. So Rx plus J omega Lx. So that is we have written here the left side of this equation from the bridge balancing condition. In the bridge balancing condition, Zx is equal to Rx plus J omega Lx. And right side part, Z2 Z3 Y1. Z2 is equal to R2, Z3 is equal to R3. That is we have written R2 R3, and Z1 is equal to, we are writing 1 by Y1, that is called Y1. In terms of Y1 we are writing 1 by R1 plus J omega C1. 1 by R1 plus J omega C1. This is the expression we have written for the bridge balancing condition in the Maxwell's bridge equation. So, as per the Maxwell's equation, bridge balance condition, we have written this one. Now, we have to multiply this R2, R3 with this 1 by R1 plus J omega C1. That is our next equation. So, now see, here R2, R3 by R1, this is the first term, and the second term, J omega C1 into R2, R3. So, here we got a real term and we have a imaginary term. Now, equate the, on the both sides of this equation, equate the real terms separately and imaginary terms separately. So, first, when you are equating the real terms, then Rx is equal to R2, R3 by R1, and the imaginary terms, the J omega is going to be cancelled here. Lx is equal to C1, R2, R3. So, that is the next equation. So, see here, Rx is equal to R2, R3 by R1. So, this is the first combination. This is the first condition, and the next condition is Lx is equal to C1 R2 R3. Lx is equal to C1 R2 R3, and Rx is equal to R2 R3 by R1. These are the two conditions. These are the two conditions here we got. So this is about the Rx and Lx expressions. So in the Maxwell's bridge, other than these Rx and Lx conditions, here we are defining one more parameter that is called Q. Here the Q is equal to omega L by R, omega Lx by Rx, omega Lx by Rx, and Lx is equal to, we got the condition C1 R1 R2 R3, and Rx is equal to R2 R3 by R1. Substitute all these Rx and Lx combinations here. Right. So see here, Q, here the Q, here we are writing omega into Lx, where Lx is equal to C1 R2 R3, right on, omega C1 into R2 R3, next Rx is equal to R2 R3 by R1. So you have to reverse this one, R1 by R2 R3. R2 R3 going to be cancelled here, and the final value is equal to omega C1 into R1. So this is the final expression. Here the Q is equal to, finally here the Q is equal to omega C1 R1. So this is the finalized expression. Here this is the finalized expression. So see here, finally here we got Rx is equal to R2 R3 by R1, and Lx is equal to C1 into R2 R3. This is the expression, and Q is equal to omega C1 R1, omega C1 R, omega C1 R1. This is about Q. So this is the one more expression here we got. This is the one more expression we got. So Rx, Lx, Q. These three equations we have to remember from the Maxwell's equation. From the Maxwell's equation. And here see, Maxwell's bridge limited, Maxwell bridge is limited to the measurement of low Q values from 1 to 10. Actually, with the help of Maxwell's bridge, we can measure the Q values from 1 to 10 range. The measurement is independent of the excitation frequency. The scale of the resistance can be calibrated to read the inductance directly. The measurement of the independent of the excitation frequency. So the frequency, the excitation frequency we can measure, but it is the independent of the frequency. Or the Rx measurements and Lx measurements and the Q values. These are all the measurements we are making with the independent of the frequency. There is no dependence on the frequency. But the previous inductance and capacitance measurement bridges, we are based on the inductance, we are measured the Lx and Rx values. But here it is independent. And the scale of the resistance can be calibrated, read inductance directly. We are measuring the inductance directly. There is no necessity of depending the resistance calibration process. The Maxwell's bridge using a fixed capacitor has the disadvantage that there is an interaction between the resistance and reactance balances. Here we have the relation between the inductance, reactances and resistances. So these are completely dependent parameters. So we cannot measure these values are independently. So this is the one of the drawback. This can be avoided by varying the capacitance instead of R2 and R3 to obtain the reactance balance. If you want to balance this reactance, here there is no necessity of modifying the R2 and R3 values. Here we can vary the capacitance C1 value, which will be available in the first arm in the Maxwell's bridge. However, the bridge can be made to read directly in Q. So the bridge can be made read directly in Q the value. Next, the bridge is particularly suited for the inductance measurements since comparison with a capacitor is more ideal than the another inductance. So here the bridge is mainly is focusing measuring the inductance parameters with the help of known capacitance values. Commercial bridges measure from 1 to 1000 henries. So generally commercially these type of bridges are helped to detect the unknown inductance values from 1 Henry to 1000 Henries. with plus or minus 2% error. With plus or minus 2% error. If the Q is very large, R1 becomes excessively large, and it is impractical to obtain a satisfactory variable standard resistance in the range of values required. Okay, so this is the reason why we are not measuring high Q values from this bridge. If you want to measure high Q values, then we have to increase the R1 value, then the bridge is not going to be in the balanced condition. So whatever it may be, finally the Maxwell's bridge is used for measuring the Q values from 1 to 10 range, not for the high values of Q. For that we have the upcoming bridges that we will see in the next coming lectures. Now coming to that, on this Maxwell's bridge we will do one problem. Here, coming to that, the given problem is a Maxwell's bridge is used to measure an inductive impedance. The bridge constant at balances are the bridge constants. Okay, now we are going to take at the balanced condition. C1 is equal to 0.01 microfarads, R1 is equal to 470 microfarads, R2 is equal to 5.1 kilo ohms, and R3 is equal to 100 kilo ohms. Right? Let us see. These are the given values. These are the given values. C1 value and R1 value, R2 value and R3 value. That means we got 2 ohms, Z2, Z3, R2, R3 values directly we can take the 2 ohms, and next from the first ohm R1, C1 values they given, and the fourth ohm values LX, RX we have to find. So find the series equivalent of unknown impedances. So the series impedances are nothing but as ZX and LX values. ZX and LX values. Now we have to find the ZX, LX values. We know the ZX and LX, RX expressions. RX is equal to R2, R3 by R1, and LX is equal to R2, R3 into C1. These two conditions we have to remember. These two conditions we have to remember. If you know these two conditions, substitute the given values in the problem and find the values of Rx and Rx. Rx is equal to 1.09 kilo ohms based on the given values of the problem, and Rx is equal to, with the help of R2, R3, C1. These three values we know from this problem, and you can finally compute that value of Rx. Where Rx is equal to 5.1 Henries in the range of 1 to 1000 Henry range. And this is the final fourth arm representation, the Rx and Lx representation, where Lx is equal to 5.1 Henries, Lx is equal to 5.1 Henries, and Rx is equal to 1.09 kilo ohms. So this is the solution for the given problem. Okay. Right. One more problem based on this Maxwell's bridge. So the arm of an AC Maxwell's bridge are arranged as follows. So the AC Maxwell's bridge given some of the conditions here. AB and BC are non-reactive resistors of 100 ohms each. DA a standard variable reactor L1 of resistance 32.7 ohms, and CD consisting of a standard variable resistor R in series with the coil unknown impedances of Z. Balance was found. L1 is equal to 50 millihenries and Z is equal to 1.3 R. Find the R and L of the coil. Find the Rx and Lx values. Here the given values we have to write. Here the L1 they given. Here the L1 directly. L1 is directly. L1 is equal to 50 millihenries. That we have written L1 is equal to 50 millihenries and R1 is equal to 32.7 ohms. So they given the DA variable reactor for L1 of resistance. L1 of resistance. For L1 resistance they given 32.7 ohms. That is R1. R1 is equal to 32.7 ohms. L1 is equal to 50 millihenries. And next, coming to that, they given two more resistance. Values. That is R2 is equal to 1.36 ohms. R3 is equal to 100 ohms, and R4 is equal to 100 ohms. So these are the given values, and finally here we have to find the R4 fourth ohm values Rx, Lx. R4 R1 is equal to R3 into R2 plus small r. This is based on the bridge balanced condition. So based on the bridge balanced condition, here we have to solve the L2 value, that is the Lx value. The Lx value we are writing here. L2 is equal to L1 into R2 by R3. L2 is equal to 50 millihenries. So this value we are identifying from the bridge balanced condition. Okay, so the L2 value, here we have already solved that R value with the help of the bridge balancing condition from the real terms, where Rx is equal to R2, R3 by R1. So based on that condition, here we are measuring R4, R1 is equal to R2, R3. Here the unknown value will be available at the R2. This is a resistance R2 plus a small r. This small r we are measuring here. Okay, this is about the Maxwell's bridge. Okay, thank you. In the next lecture, we will see the remaining bridges of AC sources. Okay, the remaining AC bridges we will see in the next class.